Every time you trim green onions in the kitchen, you cut off the white roots and toss them in the bin without a second thought. It feels like the obvious thing to do. The roots look spent, rough, perhaps a little dirty. But today, that habit changes. Because those white roots and the white stalk section of green onions contain a concentration of natural compounds that have been documented by both centuries of traditional medicine and an expanding body of modern research for their effects on immune defense, bacterial resistance, and blood circulation. The Korean medicinal tradition has a specific name for this part of the plant. They call it chongbek, which translates loosely to the white bundle. And it has been prescribed for colds, poor circulation, and inflammation since before modern medicine existed. Let us start with the compound responsible for that sharp, pungent smell when you slice or crush the white part of a green onion. That smell is allicin. Allicin is an organosulfur compound concentrated most densely in the white root and lower stalk sections of Allium fistulosum, the species of green onion used throughout East Asian cooking. Allicin has been the subject of decades of research into its antimicrobial properties. Studies show that pure allicin exhibits antibacterial activity against a wide range of both gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria by binding to and disrupting sulfur-containing enzymes essential to bacterial metabolism. Think of it as jamming the engine of a bacterial cell from the inside, preventing it from carrying out the processes it needs to survive and multiply. Beyond bacteria, allicin has attracted serious attention for its antiviral activity. Research published in Frontiers in Microbiology demonstrated antiviral and immunomodulatory activity of allicin in SARS-CoV-2 infected cell cultures, showing that allicin efficiently inhibited viral replication and modulated the immune response of infected cells. A separate study examining garlic-derived compounds found that they could inhibit the ability of coronaviruses to penetrate host cells. These are cell-level findings, and it would be inaccurate to claim that eating green onion roots cures viral illness in humans. What the evidence clearly supports is that allicin possesses genuine antiviral potential that warrants continued investigation and makes it a valuable part of a diet oriented toward immune support. The second key compound in the white section of green onions is isoalline. When heat is applied to the white stalk, isoalline converts into a range of active sulfur compounds that have been shown to enhance immune regulation and contribute to antiviral activity. This is why traditional preparations always involved heating the white part, whether in soup, broth, or tea. The cooking process does not destroy these benefits. In this case, it activates them by triggering the chemical transformation of isoalline into its more active forms. The third compound is quercetin, a flavonoid found in meaningful concentrations in green onions, alongside camphorol, another potent plant antioxidant. Research specifically examining quercetin from Allium sources found that supplementation with 162 mg per day of quercetin from onion extract significantly lowered 24-hour ambulatory blood pressure in hypertensive patients. The mechanism involves quercetin stimulating nitric oxide production in the walls of blood vessels. Nitric oxide is the most powerful natural vasodilator the body produces. When nitric oxide levels rise, vessel walls relax, the inner diameter of the blood vessel widens, and blood flows more freely. For people who experience chronically cold hands and feet, poor peripheral circulation, or mild hypertension, this quercetin-driven vasodilation is the scientific explanation for why traditional medicine consistently prescribed the white parts of green onions for circulation-related complaints. The organosulfur compounds in the white root also inhibit platelet aggregation, meaning they help prevent blood from clumping and forming clots unnecessarily. This is beneficial for general cardiovascular health, but is also a reason why people taking blood thinners or anticoagulant medications must consult their physician before consuming large or concentrated quantities. One of the most culturally enduring uses of the white root is for early-stage colds. Traditional Korean medicine describes a specific cold pattern, where the body feels chilled, but has not yet developed fever and produces no sweat. The white root is prescribed precisely for this state. because its compounds dilate peripheral blood vessels, increasing blood flow to the skin surface and stimulating the sweat glands. The warmth and light perspiration that follows is not incidental. It is the result of improved peripheral circulation, and it has long been associated with helping the body regain equilibrium at the earliest stage of a cold. Before symptoms fully develop, a cup of hot Chongbaek tea at the first sign of that chilly, slightly off feeling in the throat, has been the Korean grandmother's prescription for generations, and the science of vasodilation explains why it works. Here are 3 recipes you can make tonight with the roots you would have thrown away. The first is basic green onion root tea. Wash 5 to 7 green onion roots thoroughly, removing all soil. Boil them in 1 liter of water over medium heat for 20 to 25 minutes. Adding a slice of fresh ginger amplifies the effect, as ginger's gingerol compound works synergistically with allicin to strengthen both the antimicrobial and circulation improving effects. Remove the roots, add half a teaspoon of honey if desired, and drink it warm. At the first sign of a cold, 2 to 3 cups across the day, followed by staying warm and resting, has been the traditional approach, and it remains practical today. The second recipe is immune-supporting green onion, jujube, and ginger tea. Combine 5 washed roots with 5 dried jujubes, 3 or 4 slices of fresh ginger, and 1 liter of water. Simmer for 30 minutes on medium heat. Jujube contributes polysaccharides that support immune cell activation. Ginger adds its anti-inflammatory gingerol and shogal compounds. The 3 ingredients together produce a tea that addresses circulation, inflammation, and immune readiness simultaneously. 1 cup daily, taken after a meal, is a reasonable long-term habit for general immune support. The third method requires no extra effort at all. When you make soup or broth tonight, simply stop cutting off the white roots before adding green onion to the pot. Drop the entire white stalk and root into the soup and let it cook. The allicin, quercetin, and sulfur compounds dissolve into the broth, and you absorb them with every bowl. For a 7-day plan, begin with 1 cup of the basic tea daily for days 1 and 2, observing how your body responds. Days 3 through 5, move to the jujube and ginger version, and begin adding whole roots to your soups. Days 6 and 7, notice whether hands and feet feel warmer, whether morning energy has shifted, and whether your throat feels more resilient. The changes are gradual but real. Before closing, some important cautions. If you have gastric ulcers, acid reflux, or significant stomach sensitivity, take these preparations after meals, not on an empty stomach, and reduce the amount if discomfort occurs. As mentioned, those taking anticoagulants should consult their doctor due to the platelet-inhibiting properties of sulfur compounds. People with allergies to onion, garlic, or related allium species should approach with care. These preparations are food-based and support general health. They are not replacements for medical treatment. If cold symptoms persist beyond 3 days, include high fever, or worsen significantly, see a physician. The roots you have been throwing away are among the most nutritionally dense parts of the plant. Starting tonight, give them a different fate. Subscribe and share this with someone who needs to know before they trim their next bunch of green onions.